Don't even know if I want it in focus right now. Okay, disclaimer, not even for the movie review. AC, not working right now. So this is what you guys get, because the thought of having my hair down and putting makeup on makes me want to lay down and die right now. I'm so hot. Well, I didn't have a great weekend, but Longlegs had a great weekend. The latest project from writer-director Osgood Perkins follows Michael Monroe as Special Agent Lee Harker, who, after displaying signs of some sort of clairvoyance, is put on a case involving a serial killer that has been murdering families seemingly without ever stepping foot in their homes. The movie raked in over $22 million its opening weekend, and that is due in no small part to its incredible marketing. And in case you haven't visited me over on Twitch yet, we've been collectively losing our minds for the past couple of months over every little clip and teaser that has been released. Although some people are attributing the marketing for hyping this up a little too much, and I know some of y'all were disappointed in the movies because you told me over on Instagram, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. And this video is gonna be a spoiler-filled discussion, so let it rip in the comments. I personally really enjoyed the movie. It was exactly what I was expecting from an Osgood Perkins movie, and I felt like it was a really close cousin to The Black Coat's Daughter, which is my favorite film that Perkins has done so far, both in kind of like vibe and the look, but also the overall themes. So Longlegs opens with a scene that sets the tone for the audience for the entire film. We're immediately introduced to Longlegs, but Cage is kept just out of frame. His interaction with who we learn later on is a young Lee Harker is so disturbing and unsettling, and it just lets you know from the jump that this movie is going to be unsettling. This movie is going to be creepy, and it's not gonna let up. I especially love how that scene is bright white, from the farmhouse, the snow, to Longlegs. Then we're thrust into the film's present, where everything is all like dark wood paneling and shadowy doorways and corners, truly showing how Longlegs' influence has like permeated Lee Harker's life, even if she doesn't remember him. And that made me so tense for the whole movie. I was expecting something terrible to happen in every scene. And I really enjoyed just the slightest touch of the paranormal. And I didn't exactly know what to expect from the various clips that we got ahead of this movie, but I wasn't expecting the Satan angle to the extent that it was in this movie. And that made the human element even scarier to me, because you have Longlegs, who had been killing these families on behalf of Satan, and I kind of got the feeling that he was being controlled by Satan to an extent, whereas Ruth Harker seemed more clear-headed in comparison. Her whole angle was keeping Lee alive, and she's very aware of what she's doing and aware of why she's doing it. So you have like the Longlegses of the world that are certainly scary, and we all know this and we all expect that, but it's the Ruth Harkers of the world that are far more insidious. They show up to your house in a habit, pretending to be from the church, and by the time you let them in, it's too late. And I don't know about y'all, but I thought the church angle was really freaky in this movie and super effective, actually, in maybe creating some sort of conversation, you know, about like Christianity having its evil side, because Satan is a Christian concept. So you kind of have to have the church for this horrible thing to be happening in this movie, you know, because would a non-Christian character believe that they had won a prize from the church and let the nun in? Probably not. I realized on my second watch of Longlegs that the camera angles and the framing were dropping really heavy hints as to what was going on the whole time in this movie, as well as the very selective use of color. There are a lot of super satisfying shots in the movie where Lee is perfectly in the center and the camera is looking at her pretty much dead on, letting us know that she's at the center of everything long before we know that for sure. my favorite use of this, and I don't know if I'll be able to find a clip of this or maybe an image, is when Lee is going over the files pretty early on in the movie, and she has the papers like perfectly laid out in this arc in front of her, and she's kind of like curled up in the center and she's fallen asleep looking at all this stuff, and it's on this deep red carpet with red being the most prominent use of color in the movie. Like I said, that shot happens early on, but on that second watch I was like, damn, that's the whole movie. And it also shows how little Satan was like really involved in this. And it kind of gave new meaning to like the devil made me do it. Like Satan's not really a hands-on guy, he's making everybody else do the things. And in this movie, he's essentially just a shadow the entire movie, and yet he causes so much damage. That, and in that shot, Lee kind of looks like a sacrifice almost, the way she's like curled up in the center of this framing. I liked that a lot. I also want to shout out the score, the music, which is composed by Zilgi, Z-I-L-G-I. Zilgi. I feel like I never talk about music enough. It's kind of hard because that gets touchy, trying to share like clips of a piece of music as an example. But to me, it's like top 3 most important things in a movie, both the use of or the potential absence of it in a film. And this score kind of almost had like a buzzing sound to it, almost like we were around something that is rotted and is attracting like flies and bugs and things. It just felt like this. You know what I mean? That's what it sounded like. And there were also some choral moments in there, and as a choir nerd back in my day, I appreciate that so much. And I feel like it's very necessary in like satanic movies with that presence of the church being there. Like a grand organ in a church choir is very necessary for this type of theme. I feel like it just fits so well. Overall, I feel like the movie is trying to point out the evil in the world that is everywhere, everything all at once, forever and ever. And I think the final nail in the coffin, the thing that just really drives that home, is that very last sequence with Lee's gun running out of bullets right before she is meant to destroy Miss Ruby's doll, letting us know that the evil has definitely not been defeated by the time the credits roll. And really we see that earlier on in the scene, and that ending just supports it, because when Lee shows up to Carter's house, she kind of is just like looking on in horror as Carter has kind of been possessed by Satan, kills his wife, and it's not till after that where she shoots him and then shoots her mother. So like at any time in that scene, she could have tried to shoot the doll and she doesn't. So yeah, the message, kind of a downer, but I feel like it's very fitting to all of these once in a generation events we keep living through. And again, I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about this one in the comments, on Letterboxd and IMDb and everywhere. It looks very divisive, which I think was only natural for how much hype this movie was getting ahead of its release. So I appreciate you guys waiting on this video. I really needed that second watch to fully absorb everything, because I like to dig into the movies a little bit, and if you want to see me dig more into new horror releases, you can check out my review of Maxine, where I kind of dive into the themes of that one as well. Although I don't know how deep we're going to be able to get into the next new movie review I'll be posting, which is for Twisters, which comes out this weekend. I wish all of us luck. I'll see you soon with that movie review. Until then, stay strange. Bye.